Let's look at Wednesday the 26th at 2:20.
All right, all right. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? What do you people want from me? Can a man just live his life? Am I back? I'm here again. 3 more hours talking to you people. What do you want from me? You want blood? You want sweat? You want tears? You want provocative conversation for 3 hours? You want to talk from your heart? You really want to open up your heart to me? That's really what you want to do. All you people out there in WVON land, dare I say radio land, you just want to open up your hearts and express yourself. I'm here for you. That's why I'm here. I'm here to make you happier. I'm here to make your world spin a little faster. Let's talk about something. Let's get it out in the open. Maybe that's what I should change the name of my show to. Get it out in the open. Get it out in the open, damn it. What's on your mind? Get it out in the open. Say what's on your mind. I used to, back in the day, I used to say this is Express Yourself Radio. You just express yourself. Say what's on your mind. You know, when I first started doing radio, I used to say talk radio is the average citizen's way of talking back to the newspaper. This was back in the day when people actually read newspapers. You guys remember that? Once upon a time, there was something called newspapers, and they were actual things that people grabbed. They touched it. They opened it up. It was made of paper and ink, and people were able to read stories about the world that they live in, about the city that they live in, about the politicians that they vote for, and agree and disagree with them, about current events and entertainment and all these things that were going. It was in one big product, a newspaper. You could flip the pages, man. You could put it right in front of you. You look around on the train and everybody was reading a newspaper. Isn't that something? I guess now everybody's reading their phone. I guess nothing has really changed to that degree. I guess when you think about it. I mean, if you're on a train, you're on the L and you look around, everybody's doing what? They got their head down and they've got their phone in their hand, right? So I guess nothing has changed. But here's the question. When you see people on the train and they've got their head down or on the bus and they're looking into their phone, are they reading the news or are they embroiled in social media, right? And is that one and the same, right? Social media provide the news for today's world. When you see people on the train and you look over and everybody's in their own world, right? We're all compartmentalized now. Everybody's in their own little world. They're looking down in their phone and they're reading something. But see, back in the day, you knew everybody was reading the newspaper. Today, they may be texting somebody. They may be on social media, TikToking, looking at reels, right? You know, they may be reading the newspaper. They may be reading news, but I would bet. What do you guys think? I would bet that the average person is not reading news. They are not They are not reading the WVON app. They're not reading, local newspaper, national newspaper. I would bet if we were on a rush hour train and we looked around, if we were on the red line at 5:00 coming south, and we looked around, we would see what? People smoking cigarettes, smoking weed. No, I'm playing. Actually, I'm not, because that's what you would see. But if we were on the blue line or the brown line, and we were going in white Chicago, people would be down. They'd be on their phone. They'd be looking, and they'd be reading something. I doubt that they would be reading newspapers, though. They would be TikTok, Threads, or something else. But they wouldn't be reading newspapers necessarily. But newspapers used to, that was the heartbeat, man. Everybody bought a newspaper. You had newspapers. Explain this to your kids. There was a thing called a newspaper stand. And people made a living running those newspaper stands. They sold magazines and newspapers, and they were kind of made out of wood. What the hell was a newspaper? Remember these little wood newspaper stands we used to have all over Chicago? Anyway, a lot to talk about on the show today. Of course, the weather has been big news in the Chicagoland area, and we're going to talk about that. What's been happening in Illinois and Chicagoland area with tornadoes and these high wind storms, and what does that mean? Is Illinois becoming part of the new tornado alley? I don't know. Let's talk to Brett Dorchard about it. Senior meteorologist with the National Weather Service office in Romeoville, Illinois. So Brett's going to join us when we return. We've got a full show for you, 3 hours. Got all kind of stuff, including the Luigi Mangione plea that we were expecting. We got word of it yesterday that it was going to happen. Well, it happened today. We'll talk about that. Also, you guys know in Gary, Indiana, they've been having some issues with power. LaDonna has been talking about that. Gary Mayor Melton is going to join us at 12:30, I believe. We're going to have him, Eddie Melton, on, and he'll give us the latest of what's happening in Gary. And hopefully we'll have our sister Reva Martin coming on. I reached out to her to see if she could come on and talk to us about this plea by Luigi Mangione. All of that coming up and a lot more. You're listening to the Matt McGill Show. Get up on it, everybody.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
See something suspicious? Say something. Do not hesitate to call 911. Enjoy the Air and Water Show, and please help the show and the city of Chicago keep it safe.
Ada S. McKinley provides behavioral and mental health services at 4 Southside clinics. They serve people of all ages with a strong focus on therapy, counseling, and youth crisis. Their counselors and mental health professionals are well-trained and experienced in treating problems caused by emotional distress and or trauma. To schedule an appointment, call 312-761-1099 or visit adasmckinley.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code Beck at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code Beck. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Got a 3, got a 2, got a 1. Tune in Friday, 9 to midnight for The Fundamentals, where I, Titus T. Del Williams, bring the mental.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
And I, DJ Turbine Arturo Garza, bring the fun.
So if you want some wacky,
some good conversation,
but some fun,
and a little serious,
for all your sports needs, tune in to The Fundamentals.
Friday nights, 9 to midnight. See you there.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Give it a big job. Give it a big job. You like bust the loose now.
All right, we're back, guys. I don't have to tell you that we have had some very serious weather here this summer. A lot of rain and these last couple of weeks, of course, high winds, tornadoes have been pounding the state of Illinois. Chicago has been getting a lot of the effects of this summertime storm weather. I mean, look, I grew up in Chicago all my life. We always had thunderstorms in the summertime that were part of our weather system. But this summer has been something different, or has it? I don't know. Brett Dorkart is senior meteorologist with the National Weather Service, and he's joining us right now. Brett, is this different than any other summer?
Hey, Matt. Yeah, this has been a really busy summer for severe weather across not only the Chicago area, but the lower Great Lakes region. And we've been remarking here that this is one of the most active severe weather seasons that we can remember. You're right. We get summer storms every year. We get tornadoes every year. But this year has just been remarkable. And again, one of the most active we can remember.
So for you as a meteorologist, this has to be, I mean, you've got to be in your zone right now, brother. Seeing this activity and this action, you've got to be on your A game. But I would imagine this is exactly what you get in this business for, man, is to read weather patterns and see what Mother Nature, this incredible planet that we live on, what it creates for us all over the world, and how it impacts us here in the Chicagoland area. This has to be exciting for you to see this happen.
Well, you're right that this is what we train for. Just like a surgeon operating on a patient, they train for that and want to perform their best. That's what we do here. Not only us at the National Weather Service, same goes for the broadcast meteorologists and our emergency management partners. This is what we train for. But it is a lot even for us. We all live in the area too. Some of us have had storm damage with this stretch too. So it's wearing on us just like everyone else, where we're ready for the pattern to break.
What is the why behind what we are seeing?
Well, this is a pattern sometimes called the Ring of Fire, and it sounds kind of dramatic, but what's been going on is there's a big heat dome across the central U.S. So if you look at temperatures in the plains like Dallas or Oklahoma City, they've had temperatures in the upper 90s to lower 100s, and that's like rocket fuel for thunderstorms. We're right on the edge of that heat dome, and that's where these storms just like to roam. And this summer has just been stuck in this pattern. Multiple times we've been stuck in this pattern, especially the past week from late July through really now, I guess the second week of August. It's just been stuck in this heat dome with these storms riding along the edge right through northern Illinois and the Chicago area.
And obviously we know Tornado Alley down in the Oklahoma area and Kansas and all of these areas down here. How are we doing compared to them? Are they seeing an increase in activity as well, or are we catching up to the activity that they normally have?
The Plains have not had a bad year for severe weather so far. April, May, and early June is when they're rocking and rolling, and they really did not have a lot of severe weather. And I don't think they're complaining about that. They're nice to have a break over there. Illinois is actually leading the country in terms of the number of tornadoes this year. We've had 204 tornadoes in 2026 so far, and the year isn't over yet. And this is only the second state in the history of the U.S. to hit that 200 number, the other state being Texas. Texas has the record for the most tornadoes ever in a year. It's 244. We're at 204, just 40 away. So right now, the hot spot in the country is Illinois.
That is amazing, man. I mean, now, well, let me ask you this, because you can have like 200 tornadoes, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of them can just be small tornadoes that, we see a funnel cloud, we see something that, a touchdown, all right, it's officially a tornado. But then you have Big Bertha. You have these tornadoes that do some severe damage. Are we seeing damaging tornadoes, or are we seeing like, pretty, small tornadoes, and that's what's accounting for this accumulation?
So you're absolutely right. Most of the tornadoes that have struck the state have been on the weaker side of the enhanced Vegeta scale, the EF scale. That's what we use to rate these tornadoes. So most of them have been an EF0 or an EF1. That's wind speeds of 110 miles per hour or less. But there have been some Big Berthas, some big tornadoes, as you noted. A lot of us remember on March 10th, Kankakee got hit by that big EF3 tornado. On June 11th, we actually had 4 tornadoes that were rated higher than an EF2, including the one that hit Streeter. There's that one that hit Couts, Indiana. We even had an EF2 just the other day with that big derecho that moved through the area that went into northwestern Indiana. So we're getting both the weak tornadoes, but also the real strong and more dangerous tornadoes that's also impacting our state.
All right. So now, us Chicagoans, I grew up, people always say, oh, tornadoes never come in Chicago. The big buildings are deflecting the wind, so they never are able to get up enough energy to create a tornado in Chicago. Most of us have grown up with that. Is that misinformation, Brett?
Cities can get hit by tornadoes. Chicago was actually hit by several tornadoes last year. Thankfully, they're on the weaker side, EF0, EF1, but certainly cities can be hit. Dallas-Fort Worth was hit by a big tornado some years ago. Sometimes some folks think Lake Michigan will protect us, and I'll be honest with you, in the early parts of the season, let's say February, March, April, the lake is cold. It does offer some protection. But once you get to June, July, August, the lake is as warm as a bathtub. Sometimes it actually intensifies storms. So just because we live next to Lake Michigan or live next to skyscrapers, that does not prevent tornadoes. Thankfully, tornadoes are really localized. They only impact a very small area, which is why, thankfully, most of us don't have to deal with them. But a city will not stop a tornado. The lake will not stop a tornado.
All right. And so, of course, it's all this speculation. Everybody talks about, the new weather patterns and climate change. Is this unique, or do you think this is something that we're going to be seeing from now on, that Illinois is going to be hitting some high numbers when it comes to touchdowns?
It's a great question. When we talk about climate, that's typically on a scale of hundreds to even thousands of years. But when it comes to tornadoes, those are on the scale of maybe minutes to at most an hour. So it's kind of not quite apples to oranges, but we are seeing more of these patterns impacting our state. So that is a trend we're starting to watch to see if this is going to become more common.
All right, Brett Dorkart, senior meteorologist with the National Weather Service office in Romeoville. He said this is part of the Ring of Fire, so that we had to queue up some Johnny Cash.
I love it.
There we go. Brett, thanks, man. Appreciate it very much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We got to get you back on. I'm sure we got some more storms coming our way, guys. When we return, the city of Gary has been impacted by these storms. In fact, power has been out there in Gary and some other areas. You guys are commenting on our Facebook Live page here that Crete also is experiencing a power outage and all of that. Mayor Eddie Melton from Gary joins us when we return, gives us an update on what's happening. Johnny Cash on WVON.
The ring of fire, the taste.
Police Department men's and women's soccer clubs are hosting a fundraiser next week.
When hearts like ours beat, I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. Fell into a burning ring of fire.
I love it.
Down, and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The
ring of fire.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. It's the afternoon show.
Those people that are saying, I am not my ancestors, are speaking from a place of privilege only given to them by their ancestors. So how can you come here now, right, when they've shed all the blood, when they've been bitten by all the dogs, when they've been hosed down by all the hoses, when they've been slapped in the face by all the cops, and here you come after laws have been passed to say what you wouldn't allow. I am not my ancestors. I think that is insanely disrespectful.
Weekdays at 3 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
You've got mail.
Are you an insider? Well, if you're part of the WVON family, you should be. Sign up for the WVON's weekly Insider e-newsletter and stay in the know on all things VON. It's news, it's entertainment, it's the 411 on all things Chicago. Become an insider. Sign up on the WVON app or at WVON.com. You're now connected.
Goodbye.
Good afternoon. I'm Kayla Patton, and here's what's happening. The Chicago Police Department men's and women's soccer clubs are hosting a fundraiser next weekend to benefit victims of a deadly 7.4 earthquake that hit Columbia earlier this week. The August 23rd fundraiser in Chicago will be held in collaboration with the 12th annual Columbian Fest Chicago and South Fork United, a nonprofit organization at the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge. A 7.4 magnified quake struck the South American country Monday, killing more than 280 people and leaving hundreds more missing. Several Chicago police officers are set to visit Columbia later this month. An investigation is underway into what caused a United Airlines plane to blow its tires at O'Hare International Airport. The incident happened yesterday when the United Airlines Boeing 737-900 was tearing down the runway attempting to begin its flight to Phoenix when abruptly the pilot had to abort takeoff after the tires blew. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, and passengers were let off the plane and bused back to the terminal. Well, weather has been up and down in Chicago and in Indiana, and there has been 6 reported tornadoes in Indiana, with many still suffering from power outages and significant damage to their homes. We are still expecting more storms to hit the region tonight, which could lead to some localized flooding. A flood watch has been issued for south and southwest portions of the Chicago area, with more rain expected to come over this weekend before drying out on Monday. And the Bears are still on the hunt for their stadium. The Bears president and CEO Kevin Warren affirmed that the team's commitment to build a stadium for the Chicago team is still on.
Illinois, we don't have a deal with Illinois. Our focus, again, at this point in time is in Hammond, Indiana, and we're doing everything that we possibly can. We don't have any legislation in Illinois. We don't have a deal with Illinois.
And Bears team president Kevin Warren said there are 2 viable sites in Hammond, but the deal still isn't done. And he acknowledged that some fans may be upset if the team leave Illinois, but he believes that the time is now to build a world-class stadium. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON.
Hello, Chicagoland. This is your main man, Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman. I'm inviting all of my friends, associates, and colleagues to tune in to WVON, the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM for the Tio, Mr. Ceasefire Hardiman Show. This show will cover all the hottest topics, including politics, reducing gun violence, and so much more, right here every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM WVON. Thank you.
This August, feed your mind and challenge your perspective on Von TV, The Wronged, the Maurice Carter story, a compelling documentary that examines the devastating impact of wrongful conviction and one family's relentless fight to restore justice and reclaim a legacy.
Wrongful convictions are America's dirty little secret. Our justice system does not want anyone to know that this is happening. Our prisons are filled with people that were sent to prison for crimes they didn't commit, and science later proved they didn't.
Then watch Bound and Woven, where Rufus Williams sits down with authors, historians, and changemakers for powerful conversations exploring Black history, culture, and the ideas shaping our future. In August, discover programming that informs, inspires, and transforms, only on Von TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at von.tv. Von TV, for the culture, by the culture.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Okay.
All right, we are back, everybody, as we just talked about with the National Weather Service. Illinois has had over 200 tornadoes touch down, so our area, which includes Northwest Indiana, of course, has been experiencing storms like never before. And of course, there are power outages in Gary, Indiana, among other places. There are power outages, as some of you are reporting here on Facebook Live. Crete in the south suburbs, power outages there as well. Mayor Eddie Melton joins us now on WVON. Mayor Melton declared a local disaster emergency back on August 12th. And Mayor, bring us up to date on what's happening in Gary. I know this is very stressful for the residents there, but it's got to be stressful for you also. What can you tell us?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. We're actually out in the streets now riding around, so forgive me if the reception ends up being bad, but we're still in recovery mode. As you mentioned, when I declared the natural disaster for the city of Gary, we deploy all of our resources to ensure that we can help relieve residents of some of the damage that's been taking place. Hundreds upon hundreds of trees have been uprooted, destroying homes, destroying cars, blocking roadways. I would say we're probably around 85% clear of our major, 100% clear of our major roadways being cleaned up. But side streets and things of that nature, we're knocking that out as quickly as possible to ensure public safety and families can get through the neighborhood. So the next day, the governor came to Northwest Indiana. We met in the city of Hammond with the mayor of Hammond as well. And several hours after that, after he toured Gary and other locations, noting that Gary received the highest wind speed of 99 miles an hour. So that was something that we felt the brunt of as that storm hit Northwest Indiana. So he has declared a state natural disaster that triggers resources from the state. The National Guard just touched down today, helping us to clean up a lot of the debris and trees on homes. Now we're going to work closely with the governor's office to petition FEMA to help out individuals individually to afford to pay for some of this restoration to take place. So a high level where we are today.
Let me ask, and so I would imagine the trees coming down were the source of the power lines being brought down and some of the power being out. Is that correct?
That's a significant portion of it. And this is me putting my former utility hat on. I did work for NIPSCO for over 15 years. And some of the power lines just snapped on their own. I mean, when you're dealing with 100-mile-an-hour winds, it's hard to predict where the source of that outage occurred. So you're going to see a lot of power lines literally snapped in half, bending over streets and roadways. That's why we've been encouraging folks, do not engage or come close to a power line. Assume that it is live because you don't know if it's deactivated or not. So we definitely been encouraging folks, don't go out and touch it. Don't step on it. just assume that it's a live line.
Live wire, as we say. And the utility company, have they been pretty responsive as far as you're concerned?
Well, of course, we all want our power on when we want it on, right? So giving them a little understanding, because over 90% of their service area is out. It's not just Gary, it's not just Lake County. It's Porter County, it's some southern parts of our counties that typically wouldn't get impacted by this. So I do understand what it takes to restore power. You got to first assess the damage, figure out where the source of the outages take place. Sometimes the outages is not just a simple circuit. Sometimes it is going to be a substation that they got to get back up to. So that assessment is being done. They're picking up neighborhoods right now in Gary, getting them back online around the hospital, around the police stations, and several neighborhoods going from west to east. So we're just happy that that progress has taken place. And just think about it. We had nearly 300,000 outages in Northwest Indiana, and I would say 30 to 40,000 of that were Gary residents.
Let me ask this, because you mentioned hospitals. How are they able to deal with this? Because I would imagine they have some patients that are, in critical care and having power out. I would imagine could be a matter of life or death for some people. Have you heard what are hospitals communicating to you about that? Have other hospitals been able to take in patients, or is that something that would happen?
Yeah, Gary has Methodist hospitals. We were blessed that they did not sustain any significant outages. I think the majority of their facility was on a circuit that was able to stay on, and they also had some backup generation. So I think we're good there. There were at least one hospital in Northwest Indiana that I'm aware of that was out. And I only know that because we lost power at our Gary Sanitary District for a portion of it. And we were in the queue or up next to get turned on after one of our local hospitals outside of Gary was going to get back turned on.
All right, and look, you've lived in Gary a long time. Do you see anything? Is this a once in a lifetime kind of storm season for you guys?
No, absolutely, man. You got to think about it. We need a breather. I mean, this has been going on every 3 to 4 weeks. If it's torrential rain, floodings, situations, wind, thunderstorms. So this is not typical. This is not normal. I think this may be the norm for a while that we're seeing. We just had to be more resilient as communities. And let me first, I know I'm on the Chicago station. I want to shout out Mayor Brandon Johnson. He called me yesterday morning, and he was able to send us some resources to help community get back on our feet. So I want to thank the mayor of Chicago for showing his support, knowing that we can't do it on our own. So I'm grateful for the residents and the mayor.
That's what brothers do, man.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And I mean, the reality is Gary is important to Chicago. And we understand that. Some of our workforce comes from Gary, Indiana. So the residents there are important to our economy. We understand that, and we're important to Gary's economy as well. And that brotherhood that should exist between these two cities, no matter who the mayors are, to be quite frankly with you, it should exist. But I'm glad to see it activated more when we have two brothers that are mayor and want to help each other out. That's what being black in America is all about, if you ask me. And I'm glad to see that. But also let me say this, because it seems like your relationship with Governor Braun there is pretty good. And he's, would you say he's been helpful in helping you guys get back to speed?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I got to shout the governor out. This is not a party line situation. Red or blue, D or R. This is about the people. This is making sure that people are safe. This is making sure people have the resources. I think one of the hardest things during storms like this is communicating with folks to let them know where resources are.
Yeah.
Everybody's not on Facebook. Everybody's not receiving power to have devices to listen to the news or outlets like this. Either they're in a car, or right now we are having volunteers. If you want to volunteer for the city of Gary, City Hall at 401 East Broadway has partial power. So we are collecting folks that want to help volunteer and do wellness checks on our senior citizens.
Sure.
I'm receiving calls from people around the country saying, hey, my mom lives in Gary. She has a disability. We can't reach her. So we're doing wellness checkups on folks. So if you have situations like that, please call City Hall, 219-881-1300. If you know someone that needs shelter, we have an overnight shelter at the YWCA in Gary. That's 150 West 15th Avenue. If you want to take a shower, you need to charge your devices. Listen, we got your support. We had the capacity because we got nonprofits like that group that stepped up.
Brother, thoughts and prayers with you and the residents of Gary, Indiana. Look, a lot of people you mentioned in your area, also in Illinois as well. Like I said, some of our listeners that live in Crete say their power's been out all week as well. So there are people all in the Chicagoland area that are being impacted by power outages. And so wherever they are, wherever they may be, our thoughts and prayers are with them. And please call WVON, give us any information about resources, and maybe we should reach out to the mayor of Crete and find out what we can do to spread the word for residents in that city as well. But good luck, my brother. And like I said, thoughts and prayers with you indeed, and the residents of Gary, Indiana.
Thanks for letting me be on today.
Always. Mayor Eddie Melton, Gary, Indiana. All right, let's take a break here. It is 12:47 on WVON. I do have a phone number. I know our phone line. Look, our call-in number is down, brother. So we've had to shift on the fly here as well. Our new phone number to call in, if you are interested, callers, 312-705-5850. 312-705-5850 is the new phone number to call into the show today. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Matt McGill Show. Thanks, Mayor.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This August, feed your mind and challenge your perspective on Vaughn TV. See Wronged, the Maurice Carter story, a compelling documentary that examines the devastating impact of wrongful conviction and one family's relentless fight to restore justice and reclaim a legacy.
Wrongful convictions are America's dirty little secret. Our justice system does not want anyone to know that this is happening. Our prisons are filled with people that were sent to prison for crimes they didn't commit, and science later proved they didn't.
Then watch Bound and Woven, where Rufus Williams sits down with authors, historians, and changemakers for powerful conversations exploring Black history, culture, and the ideas shaping our future. In August, discover programming that informs, inspires, and transforms, only on Vaughn TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, the WVON app, or at VON.tv. Vaughn TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no jive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, we're back. Again, the new number for right now, guys, until we get our phone lines back up, as you see, man, these storms have been causing problems all over the Chicagoland area, not just in Gary, but people in Crete. In fact, Sonia, my producer, we're gonna reach out and try to see if we can talk to the people in Crete and find out what's going on there, as their power has been out, according to some of you. Who said that on? Lee Min says power out in Gary all week, and then Reggie Brown. Reggie says no power in Crete all week. So, as Reggie said, people need generators. We don't think in terms of having a backup source of energy, right? Generators, man. But you go, look, man, let me tell you, you go to certain parts of the country, especially in the South, man, buying a generator is like second nature to them, because, out in certain parts of America and rural parts of America, these power outages may happen way more often than they do for us here in the Chicagoland area. So having that level of preparation, whatever kind of generator you may have. I know some people have them attached to their homes. I see the commercials on television like you do, and they just kick in automatically, as soon as the power goes out. Most hospitals have that, and hotels, believe it or not, have that kind of system where the backup generator kicks in immediately, right? There's no gap or space in between power. One source goes off, the emergency lights come on right away. Now, when you're talking about, hospitals, hotels, office buildings, you're talking about buildings that have a large group of people in them, and lights going out can create some panic and some human confusion there that can add to some of the chaos. So we need to be careful that our, people are staying calm in the moment, understand, the power outage is part of living in the world we live in, man. You can't predict Mother Nature. Can't predict with all of this rain that we're getting. The earth is soft, and so these trees are being pulled up, and then they fall onto the power lines, and then power goes out. But the mayor expressed how it's not even that. He says sometimes it's just the power lines. The winds are so strong that the power lines are being blown down. So just the force of the wind itself is adding to part of the problems here. 312-705-5850. You mean I've been talking all this time with my microphone off? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had my microphone off. I've been just talking without knowing that my mic was off. Oh, all right. I don't know what's going. Here we go. All right. Now my mic is. Man, I just been talking for the last 5 minutes with my microphone off over here. My fault, y'all. Usually this thing lets me know when I'm talking and the mic is off, but it didn't. Anyway, I was just talking about everything that's going on out there, of course, in not just in Northwest Indiana, but of course around the state, Crete. I would imagine Stager, some of these areas in the south suburbs are experiencing power outages there. So, when we talk about our earth being soaked with so much water, that explains why some of these power outages have happened, and explains why these trees are falling on power lines. But as the mayor said, these power lines are blowing down by themselves, right? So they don't really even need the help of the wind. Anyway, let me give out the number again, just in case you guys want to call in. I can't believe I just did all of that talking for nothing. I'm sorry, guys. 312-705-5850. 312-705-5850. It's the number to call if you want to come in, call into the show and contribute to the show as well. If you are in the Gary, Indiana, as Mayor Melton said, they need volunteers, people to go out and kind of do wellness checks, and a host of other things. You can call the office down there and get information. 219-881-1300. Queen Kim, thank you for sharing the show. Everybody on Facebook Live, please share the show. For some reason yesterday, I was unable to share the show myself on Facebook. I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but we were unable to share the show. Sister Ariva Martin won't be able to come on. I was hoping she'd be able to come on at 1 o'clock and give us the lowdown on what's happening with the Luigi Mangione case. But hopefully we can get somebody else to come on. If you have not been paying attention to the news today, Luigi Mangione pled guilty to the killing of Brian Thompson. Of course, we know that it happened. It's on videotape. So it's not much you can do to dispute that. And, I wanted to talk to Rita just because I wanted to get into the mind of what a defense attorney is looking at when they have a client like Luigi Mangione, and you've got this video as the key piece of evidence. And how do you defend somebody that is obviously guilty of murder, right? And you've got it. I mean, somehow police officers seem to get away with it. But Luigi's not able to get away with it, huh? But how do you defend somebody like that? How do you defend somebody? We saw, Jason Van Dyke got defended on it and got a sentence of 3 years or at least 3 to 6 years, and he's out in 3 years. It's amazing how police officers can get off. If you have videotape evidence of a police officer shooting and killing somebody, yet Luigi Mangione is going to go to jail for the rest of his life, more than likely. That's interesting. Help me help you. Help explain that crap to me. And I mean, if there's some sensitive police officers out there to think I'm taking a swipe at them, I'm taking a swipe at Jason Van Dyke. Get off me. I'm taking a swipe. I know too many police officers, black, white, Mexican, Asian. I know too many police officers that are doing the job out here the right way. They get down the right way. They would have never done what Jason Van Dyke did. So to try to group all police officers into Jason Van Dyke's activity is some bull crap, right? Kiss my ass on that. I need a podcast, man, because I just want to really express myself. Titus, see if you can find that song. Express yourself. I need my own podcast so I can express myself in more direct terms. I mean, this is really going to be interesting because this plea that Mangione gave today, he basically admit, I was there, pulled trigger, I killed Brian Thompson, and he died. Bam. I'm guilty. He does the plea, they say, so that he won't be tried in state court, which may have more severe consequences in the state of New York. Now, I don't think it's the death penalty they're trying to avoid. I think they're trying to avoid life in prison, which more than likely is going to happen anyway, just because of the political ramifications of this case. The politics of this story are pretty strong. So we'll see all of that and a lot more. 1 o'clock hour is coming up next. What's on your mind? 312-705-5850. Matt McGill Show, everybody.
I hope you're making the best of this Friday. I'm Kayla Patton, and in the headlines, Chicago's Air and Water Show is back at the lakefront this weekend. 3 people were hospitalized after a car crashed and caught fire on DuSable Lakeshore Drive downtown last night. And mandatory evacuations are being ordered in parts of Indiana where heavy rain has caused extreme flooding. The Black Information Network is next on Chicago's original social media platform, 1690 AM WVON Berwyn, Chicago.
Here's BIN News Now.
Miramar, Florida leaders are set to vote on whether to join Broward County's solid waste master plan.
And the amendment to continue Miramar's participation in the Solid Waste Authority.
Black Mayor Wayne Metham supports opting in, saying it could strengthen the city's effort to block a proposed incinerator at the West landfill. Miramar must decide by Friday. David Crowley is one step closer to becoming Wisconsin's first Black governor after defeating State Representative Francesca Hong in Tuesday's Democratic primary. The win was considered an upset after Hong led recent polling. Crowley, who already made history as Milwaukee County's first Black executive, will face Republican Tom Tiffany in November. And prosecutors are expected to use Black singer David's online shopping history in the murder case against him. Authorities say David Anthony Burke bought items including chainsaws, cadaver bags, and shovels before allegedly using them to dispose of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body. He is awaiting trial on murder and other charges. I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Back to you, Doug.
All right, thanks. Measles is spreading nationwide, and the warning for Black America is clear. Make sure Black children, particularly those who live in areas with less access to care, get the shot. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has a long record of promoting claims that cast doubt on vaccine safety and shifts the blame elsewhere. He said this while speaking to CNN this past Sunday on the network's State of the Union.
For years, you have been one of the leading voices questioning the efficacy of vaccines. Do you accept some responsibility for this measles outbreak?
Absolutely not. The communities that are suffering from measles are almost all religious communities that just don't vaccinate. It's hard to blame that. I mean, as much as you want to blame.
No, I don't want to.
So far, nearly 2,500 cases are confirmed. The CDC does not provide a complete racial breakdown on the current outbreak, but Black families are at risk. Federal data shows Black children born in 2020 were 7% less likely to be fully vaccinated by age 2 than other children of different ethnicities. Doctors say families should verify that their children are up to date on their MMR shots. There are services out there that can help families find low or no-cost vaccine options. Meanwhile, the Midwest is bracing for more storms, and Black communities are already dealing with outages and storm damage and are being told not to let their guard down. Black Columbus, Ohio resident Michael Clark shares with the BIN what he witnessed earlier this week while he was at home.
My anxiety was just like on high because, you know, as I was moving furniture and stuff, the shutters and stuff was flying off the side of the building, and it was raining so hard you couldn't even see like 2 feet in front of you. It was that crazy.
Clark compared the wind's force to standing near Niagara Falls and to the conditions he felt while driving through Florida during Hurricane Katrina.
We were driving up I-95, and it's just a wind that I was feeling on Tuesday just reminded me of that.
The National Weather Service says an active weather pattern is expected to continue to bring more rainfall and heavy wind to the region over the next several days. And finally, a Chicago, Illinois anti-violence volunteer has accepted a plea deal after bringing a loaded gun to a police station back in 2023. Nakia Smith says he found a weapon on the street and went to an area police station to turn it in, but police arrested him after discovering the gun was in his coat pocket. Smith, who is a convicted felon, is barred by Illinois law from carrying a firearm. He received a 1-year sentence, but the court credited him for the 7 months he spent in Cook County Jail and the time he served while wearing an electronic monitoring device. Hang in there, brother. Stay connected and subscribe, and follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods. Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obadelli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour. Chicago, set those alarm clocks. Chicago Public Schools are back in session August 24th. New year, new possibilities. From WVON, the talk of Chicago.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berlin, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
Express yourself. Express yourself. You don't never need help.
That's right.
All you got to do now.
Come on.
Express yourself.
Express Yourself Radio.
Whatever you do,
do
it good.
Come on.
Whatever you do,
Come on. Express Yourself Radio. You can express yourself at 312-705-5850. That's 705-5850. Our phone lines, our normal number is down. So this is the new number to express yourself on the Matt McGill Show on a Friday. Sister Reva Martin couldn't make it on the show today. She's doing her thing. I'm not going to share her business, but she is doing something else. And hold on, let me update that. There we go. But she will come on when she gets an opportunity. I'm sure she has a lot to say about this case. I saw her on TV this morning, so she's already been out there expressing her thoughts about this case and about this plea that Luigi Mangione put in this morning around 9 o'clock New York time, which is the big story. If you turn it on cable TV, it is the big story of the day. And, mainly because of the theatrics of it. I mean, I guess so, guys. I mean, when you look at the story, I mean, we're talking about an executive of a major U.S. company, healthcare company, that was shot and killed on 54th in New York City. And that is a big deal, right? Of course, there's no way around whether or not the story is a big deal, right? Mangione said he was in extreme pain and he felt spurned by this healthcare company, which I'm sure he did and should probably feel the way that he feels. I mean, I talked to a friend this week and she was telling me how she feels like her health insurance company is BSing her around on some medicine that she needs. And they're trying to tell her that she doesn't qualify. She's diabetic. She's got all of these secondary issues that are associated with this illness, and the medicine that she's trying to get the insurance company to pay for, they won't pay for it. So, I mean, here, God bless America, right? We're the ones that created this capitalist and still will sit up here and debate and to the mat about capitalism over socialism, right? And yet we can't take care of our own citizens, guys. I mean, there are countries out here with smaller economies than ours that are taking care of their citizens way better than we are when it comes to health care, something that you would think is a natural right. God bless me. You know what did Reverend Wright say that everybody criticized him for? He didn't say God bless America. Y'all know what he said. I can't say it on the radio. He said, not God bless America, but God what America? Right? Realize this is it was real interesting, man. I'm going to try to see if I can pull it up, man. In the press conference this morning that they had, the New York State prosecutors, when they came out, they made their comments about, hold on. There's a people's gas truck passing by me, man. It sounds like a damn earthquake is happening. What the hell, man? We need a noise ordinance in Chicago. Whatever happened to that idea? When we were floating that idea around about a noise ordinance. You know, the city's looking for revenue. You got revenue opportunities all around you. Write some damn tickets to these people that are driving around the city with their music blasting and no mufflers on their damn cars. Aren't you tired of that? Living in Chicago and you hear these cars driving by, the music's loud, those damn slingshots. Man, I swear, dude, I feel like running them damn slingshots off the road. I mean, you know, I got an SUV, man. I feel like just trampling over their ass. Turn the music down, man. Everybody gets that you enjoy music. You think everybody wants to hear what you're listening to? What kind of ignorant bull crap is that, man? It's just some ignorant ass people out here. And then you got a car with no muffler on it. What the hell is that about? You got a little Honda Civic, and you got to drive around with it sounding loud as the city is missing out on making money. Just write some damn tickets to people. You know what I'm saying? You get a parking ticket like nobody's business. Write some damn tickets to people. Let's get some revenue going, Mayor. Maybe that's what we need to be doing. Noise ordinance. You know, we need a damn ignorance ordinance. That's what we need to start writing tickets, man. I swear, y'all need to make me like a law enforcement officer with a ticket book. I'd be writing people tickets. All right, here's a ticket right here. What's this for? For being ignorant. Being an ignorant ass. Here, take your ticket right now. Right now. Ignorant AF. That's what this ticket's for. You being ignorant AF. Bingo. See you in court. And show up in court and the judge be like, all right, Officer Matt McGill, would you like to explain what happened here? Yeah, Your Honor, wait till you hear this ignorant bull BS. Yes, you're absolutely right, Your Honor. I'm riding my police bike down the street when I see this vehicle throw out a bag of food. Apparently they were done with their meal and decided to discard their trash on the street. So I caught up to them on my bicycle, and as an officer of the city, I wrote them a ticket for ignorance as AF. Ignorant, for being ignorant AF. Boy, I'd be writing tickets left and right in every neighborhood, black, white, yeah, wherever y'all are. I'd be writing some ignorant AF tickets up all over the damn place. Yeah, Your Honor, I was riding my bike, my police bicycle here, and I heard this noise, this music coming from this little vehicle, and I wrote him an ignorant AF ticket, man. What judge is going to throw that ticket out? That's just the reality of who we are in this city. More ignorant people in Chicago. You guys want to make a bet here? Would that be terrible if I did that? Is Chicago the most ignorant acting city? You go downtown and you see this beautiful city, and it is. And I say this all the time. When I'm defending the mayor, when I'm defending Mayor Johnson, I talk about how amazing the city looks. downtown last night, man. The city just looks great. People all over the place, enjoying themselves, spending money, man, in our restaurants. City's got to be making tax money off of our hotel rooms. Hotels are full. Talk to my friends that work in a hotel downtown. They say, man, we've been busy out of our minds, man. This is one of the busiest summers that we've ever had. Will the mainstream news, will they say that as they analyze this mayor? Or they want to talk? I saw a story. They still want to talk about. Well, this was on the state side, migrant spending and all of this stuff. Do you want to talk about the booming summer that the city is having, of people coming and filling up these hotels? Just ask a friend of yours, anybody you know that's trying to come to Chicago, ask them how much hotel rooms are. Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, I couldn't find a cheap hotel room. You're not going to find one, right? This is supply and demand. People are coming to Chicago in record numbers this summer. This is a boom in something. The mainstream, Channel 2, 5, 7, 9, any of them reporting that, how amazing the city, Fox, Channel 32, any of them reporting how amazing the city is doing touristically? This is an amazing summer. No, they want you to think the sky is on fire. There's a black man that's mayor, and we don't like the way he looks. He's got a goatee. Ooh, he's a scary black man. He's got a goatee, and he's got some kind of style about his hair. Ooh, so the sky is on fire. 312-705-5850. You're listening to the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago, get ready for a night of pure magic. On Saturday, August 29th, the Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute lights up the historic Congress Theater. One unforgettable night celebrating the songs that defined a generation. Imagine Survivor, Say My Name, Independent Woman, Reimagined. A 5-piece string ensemble delivers a stunning symphonic interpretation of the hits and love songs you know by heart, blending contemporary sounds with the group's signature harmonies and those empowering lyrics that still move us today. And guiding you through it all, narrator Matthew Knowles, the management powerhouse who built Destiny's Child from Houston Dream to global phenomenon. Want the ultimate experience? Upgrade to VIP for premium seating and an exclusive meet and greet. But hurry, VIP packages are limited. From the moment the doors open, you'll feel it. It isn't just a concert, it's a celebration. The Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute, August 29th, Congress Theater. Tickets at destinyschild.com. Get yours before they're gone.
Lung cancer is common among East Asian descendants, especially females.
We understand our patients have different backgrounds and circumstances, which is why we promote nearly 1,000 health screenings each year, like the CLUES program, which screens high-risk, often uninsured patients for cancer.
If it wasn't for the CLUES program at Northwestern Medicine, we wouldn't know my mom had lung cancer.
Because we treat our community the same way we treat our patients, better.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, we're back. 312-705-5850. Let's go to our Facebook Live. Carol Carter says hotel fare is high everywhere. Yeah, well, it's really high in Chicago, sister. It's a supply and demand issue. If we didn't have a lot of demand, then the hotel prices come down. Same room that's going for $350 this weekend will be going for $150 in February, right? What's the difference? The demand. People trying to come into Chicago. I had friends of mine last week calling me up saying, hey, man, we're coming into the Obama Center. Another reason why Chicago tourism is doing so well, because people are coming into the Obama Center, man. All you got to do is go over there and hang out in front of Obama Center, and you're going to see how many people are here in the city. You're going to see a lot of black people from all over the country celebrating black culture and the history of the Obama Center, this historic moment that we're living. A lot of people want to be here for the first summer, the first year that it's open, right? So, I mean, I understand that. You do as well, right? As they should be. I don't care where, if the first black president was from Memphis, we'd be down in Memphis going to that presidential center. But we're fortunate enough to have it right here in Chicago, and the city is a beneficiary of that. There's no problem there. Shirley Jimerson says, Matt, there is a noise ordinance. It is not enforced. They will not give tickets for permit parking. They just want to give tickets to the working people who are trying to obey but may accidentally speed. There's money to be made by the city. Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made by the city. And I'm right. I think, the speed cameras have brought in a lot of revenue for the city. The red light cameras have brought in a lot of revenue for the city. No question about it. Is it nickel and diamond? I guess you could say so. Mayor Daley started it. Mayor Emanuel doubled down on it. But I don't think Mayor Lightfoot or Mayor Johnson would want to take the revenue that it gets from speed and red light cameras off the table. No, it's money that the city needs, so I get that. But a noise ordinance, I just think, man, the city is too loud in spaces where it's unnecessary. It doesn't need to be loud, and that's just the reality of who we are and where we are. Michael Ryan says, front windows in vehicles more than 50% dark tint. Tickets should bring a little revenue in, but most of all comfort and safety for cops and citizens. Yeah, the tinted window thing, it would bring in some ticket revenue, but I think politicians over the years and mayors over the years didn't want to focus on enforcing that because they thought it was unpopular and that it would somehow they would have to pay the cost on that in politics. Carol Carter also says Gary has a lot of trees down on the electric line. Also, the poles for electric lines workers have to be very careful because they are dealing with live lines. Also, your mic was not off that long, maybe about a little over a minute. Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe I accidentally cut my mic off. So I can't believe I did that because all I got to do is touch this. Just like I just cut myself off that quick. Y'all see what happened? All I did was touch my damn computer, the not the mouse or whatever, the touchpad here, and I cut myself off, man. So it's crazy. You got to be careful when you're doing the show through the laptop here. Mark Carter, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind, brother?
What's up? Your music playing. Oh, okay. So Matt, you know, I've been taking all type of hits from people who support the movement because I'm saying to them that we don't need to change mayors. That's not our problem. Our problem is organizing and demanding. See, I think a lot of our people just automatically think things are going to happen, and they don't have to play a role in a lot of this stuff, but they don't have to come out and get involved. Now, Matt, I disagree with you when you speak against them, speaking out on him for what happened with the immigrant crisis, right? But I have a better solution than to just cry and moan about it. No, we must say that everything that was done for these illegals, it must be done for Chicagoans, must be done for Black people in the Black community. And the way that happens is we have to organize and call the mayor and his team in the room. You know, this guy has done a lot of stuff for Black people, and me being a Trump supporter, I can see that. I can see that he has done a lot of things, man. And but I think we need to then, as men and women in the city, get the people together to take them in and see this guy, or either bring him out to the community and let him tell the community, look, hey, these are the things that's been done, and let's talk about the things that y'all want to see done, and start making them happen. And that has to happen now. The people can't wait till the re-election is over or whatever. That needs to happen now. I hope you can hear me.
No, I agree with you, man. I think, look, this election next year is going to be a test for Black Chicago, probably more so than any other year, right? I mean, when you think about when Harold Washington was elected, it was the first test for Black voting power in the city of Chicago.
I want to say this to you before I get off, right?
Go ahead.
Because I work with the Republican Party, and I'm telling you, the Illinois Republican Party is working with Janudians, and I could give names. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they're not gonna run this game of trickery on our people. I'm not gonna play a role with them, where this is all a game, where they all are working together with one another. No different than times where you saw the Democrats and Republicans work together with Judy Butler-Pinker. You saw them work together with Jim Edgar. And our people don't realize what they're seeing. They don't understand who Mark Vargas and the team is, right? I'm very clear because I've been in those circles, and I know the game that they think they're gonna play. And and let me say this last thing, even when I got a phone call from Washington, D.C., the lady that invites me to a lot of the Black History Month events in the White House, they saw me at that press conference. You remember when they called for the investigation of the mayor when he was at Brazos Church and talking about he had hired Black people?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they called me because they saw me at the press conference. And I told them, first of all, I ain't no Republican. I support Trump. Secondly, if Trump can hire his people, then what's wrong with the mayor hiring his people?
Okay.
And so we're not going to go back and forth about that right there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Well, what's wrong with him hiring Black people? He hired all his people. So this thing don't go along and get along, and you know what I'm saying? You dictate to us. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got us mixed up with them handkerchief heads. We totally different. And that's what's happening with the Illinois Republican Party. They put the word out that they know that they can't control us. And so they rather go get some people who they can make a fool out of. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling y'all, this is what's going on. And I'm going to further put it out there. Just stay tuned. I'm going to show y'all something. What's going on.
All right. Good call. Right. Mark Carter, as always, brother. Appreciate it very much. It's 1:30 on WVON. WVON News coming up next.
Cloudy skies feeling muggy and humid as temperatures climb near 80. Good afternoon. I'm Annette Flournoy, guest starring for Logan Page. Here's what's happening. It's practice day for the Chicago Air and Water Show. Starting tomorrow, millions will be looking up toward the sky to watch the iconic U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds and the U.S. Army parachute team Golden Knights. The best view in the house is at North Avenue Beach and along the lakefront from Fullerton to Oak Street. The city advises folks to get out there early to stake out a spot and to use public transportation, as there will be no public parking at those beaches this weekend. Well, the Chicago Police Soccer Club is raising money for earthquake relief in Columbia. WVON's Kayla Patton has more.
The Chicago Police Department men's and women's soccer clubs are hosting a fundraiser next weekend to benefit victims of a deadly 7.4 earthquake that hit Columbia earlier this week. The August 23rd fundraiser in Chicago will be held in collaboration with the 12th Annual Columbian Fest Chicago and South Fork United, a non-for-profit organization, at the Fraternal Order of Police Lodge. A 7.4 magnitude struck the South American country Monday, killing more than 280 people and leaving hundreds more missing. The death toll rose to 281 on Thursday, with 348 others being rescued as operations continue. Several Chicago police officers are set to visit Columbia later this month. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
Officials say Monday's earthquake was the most powerful to hit Columbia this century. Well, Bears quarterback Caleb Williams will watch the team's preseason opener in street clothes. Ben Johnson says Williams and several other starters won't play against Cleveland. Williams may not play at all in the preseason. Well, that's a look at Our News Now on 1690 WVON. WVON News Time, 1:32.
Celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We're proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Lori Bryden Living, a custom shopping experience at 4452 South Cottage Grove Avenue in Chicago. Central Sonar, accessible mental health and healing services at 2645 West 51st Street in Chicago. Princeton Technical Services, building and maintaining modern infrastructure at 940 West Adams Street, Suite 305 in Chicago.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Bel Air is coming back for a final season on Peacock, and in the end, it is all love. Will and Carlton start their senior years and look towards building their futures, while the brotherhood between Phil and Jeffrey is tested. And on top of that, Viv, Ashley, and Hillary all face new eras of their own. This chapter may be closing, but their journeys are just beginning. Stream the final season of Bel Air now only on Peacock.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church. Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
No story to be told. I'm gonna make your head burn. Think of me in the depths of your despair. Trophy share. The stars of your love remind me of. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The stars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling.
All right, we're back. 591-1690. No, scratch that. 312-705-5850 is the number to call. It's talking about a little bit of everything. Let's go back to some of our Facebook Live calls here because we are challenged with our phone, but you can, just like Mark Carter just did, you can call in at 312-705-5850 to participate in this conversation where we're talking about being black and being in America. This conversation doesn't change at all. Everything that we do, and you guys be nice on Facebook Live. All right, Lee Williams and Mark Carter, you guys be nice now. Let's keep the dialogue intense, but let's not. And Harold Sprittle, let's keep it without name calling, guys. I mean, you can make your points without name calling. They say when you name call, then you don't have an argument. You eliminate yourself from serious conversation. So let's keep it nice on Facebook Live at 312-705-5850. Rochelle Thomas says, from my perspective, continuing to debate the migrant situation in Chicago isn't productive. Well, I agree with that, sister. I agree with that. And Mark and I can disagree on that. I think the thing that I disagree with what Mark was saying is I don't have a problem with people bringing up the migrant conversation and talking about it, but it's old, guys. It's over with. It happened. This mayor has invested in Black Chicago. What this mayor can't do is, and I think Mark said that these were his words, and I think a lot of people feel this way. You can't do for Black Chicago what you just did, what just happened for the migrant community. Number one, what happened for the migrant community was a combination of funds that came from the city, the state, and the county. So it wasn't just the city. So when you see and when you saw the migrants getting things during that period, it wasn't just that. It was coming from all of these sources, guys. It was coming from the city, the state, and the county, right? Now, the city got blamed like it always does. If it happens in the city gets blamed for everything, right? So you had a ton of money that was coming from Catholic charities. A lot of that money coming from Catholic charities was coming from other sources. It wasn't coming from the city of Chicago. But what happened with the migrants? They found housing for them, temporary housing, not like luxurious housing, man. Look at the migrants, man. You see that Lakeshore Drive apartment they got? No, they got hurdled into whatever they could organize in a short period of time. These were buildings. They were living in more like college dorms. They weren't living in apartments that were furnished. And, people act like migrants got apartments and they went to IKEA and went shopping and were able to deck out their apartments and stuff. I mean, it was just ridiculous. The misinformation that was going on out there, the exaggerations that were going on out there, which is absolutely ridiculous. None of that was happening, y'all. Now, Mark and Harold Sprittle and Lee, you guys, man, cut out that name calling on Facebook Live, y'all. We got to keep it on a certain level. I'm just saying, guys, we got to keep this conversation. You guys are getting in the red zone there, man, and I don't want you brothers in that red zone. But I mean, what was happening? People act like I remember somebody calling the show one time and saying, "Man, the migrants are getting cars. The city is buying migrants." I'm like, "Would y'all stop it? Would y'all stop with the misinformation?" I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous that was going on, man. And so if you sit up here and compare, and the next time the mayor comes on, and I ask him this all the time, almost to the point where I'm tired of asking him, right? If you look at the money that it has been reported, and the IG did a report on the city of Chicago and the money that is spent on the migrants. If you look at the money that was spent on the migrants and now compare that to the resources and money that has been invested in Black Chicago, there's no comparison. This mayor has invested more money in Black Chicago than the dollar amount that was spent on migrants, guys. So that's just the reality, right? And so the mayor will always have to fight that fight. But the question, and I think what Rochelle's point was, at what point do we just move on and move toward Black power in the city of Chicago? And if the answer is no, then the answer is no. Then the answer is no. And then guys, you know, you can sit up here, like I said, some of y'all just need a white mayor. Some of y'all like having a black mayor because you feel more comfortable. We feel black people overall, we feel more comfortable criticizing black people, right? We like being victims to white people, but we like criticizing black people. Yeah, that's just how it is. That's just whatever warped sense of self-respect that we have that has been put in us probably by the brainwashing of white America over black people that has us so disorganized with our thoughts. It's just a part of who we are. In 2026, Black America is still victimized, not by black people, but by the thinking that white people have implanted into your brains for the most part. So then when we see independent thinking black people, it stands out to us. And then our reaction sometimes is to criticize them because that line of thought is so different. All right. That's just the reality of it. What can you say about it? You know, that's just the reality of it. So black people, we got to get our heads out of the sand and into the light and start thinking about how do we build up our community. See, number one, government is not going to change your community. That's why it's called a community. Community changes the community. Government is there to kind of give you some assistance, right? The mindset of black people changes black neighborhoods and black communities. And if we don't have our mindset together, then our neighborhoods aren't going to change, guys. It's that simple. Is there any doubt about that, dude? Are any of you confused about that? I mean, you are, you know who you say you are. If you say you're a victim, you're a victim. You know, if you say you are a king, you're a king. But if you want to act like victims, then you're going to be treated like victims. Who wants to be a victim in America? Who decided that for Black America? Hey, we're victims. We're going to own that. Go buy you a T-shirt and put victim on it. You want sympathy? You want to be a victim? Go ahead, buy you a T-shirt then. Change your name. You know how the Nation of Islam had brothers using X, like Malcolm X. That was his last name. Change your last name to victim. Quit being a damn victim out here. Who wants to own that? Another race wants to own being a victim, man. Why are black people? Why do we like immerse ourselves in victimization? Where has it gotten you? Where has it gotten us over the last 40, 50, 100 years? It's gotten us nowhere. That's our problem, man. And we keep doing the same things over and over again and expect that there's going to be a change. The mayor's race is going to be another measuring stick for Black Chicago. And in many ways, it's going to be a measuring stick for Black America. And in a lot of ways, people are going to look at what happens here next year and be like, oh, yeah, black people, they still victims. You can still mess with their head. Ha, ha, ha. They're going to laugh. You can still play with the mentality of black people. You get them to hate their own. You can still get them to hate their own. And if that's the problem, then you got to stop listening to this radio station. Michael Coleman says, Matt, you got to get the skin color out of your hair. What skin color? Black? What skin color are you talking about? What skin color is in my head? There's no skin color in my head. Shoot, I'm talking about victimization, getting a mindset, getting, a feel sorry for me mentality. That has no skin color to it. That's who we are as a race. Too many of us as a race want to be victims. I'm not saying that. Mike Burry says Willie Wilson is Black Power. Willie Wilson is Black Power. Ain't no question about that. Willie Wilson has the story of Black America, man, of America. Success story of America, man. you know what when you look at Willie Wilson, you have to say, here's somebody who didn't get brainwashed by being a victim. He didn't let being black be a hindrance to him. He used his work ethic to be his main asset, right? With the lack of formal education that he had, but he had some determination and perseverance in him that obviously came from his parents. I've never talked to Dr. Willie Wilson about it, but obviously what has made him who he is, obviously it came from his childhood and his parents. Yeah, that's Black power all day, brother. I agree with that. I agree with that. We got to get that, Ernest Fenton used to say, and I'm going to use the N word again. Ernest Fenton used to say, get the nigga out your head, right? And he was right. He was right. Get it out your head. You're stronger than that. You're better than that. When we do that, we make more progress. When you look at Black Wall Street didn't happen because you had a group of people who were victims and felt like they were victims. Yeah, you had some black wealth that generated that from oil. There's no question about it, right? But that they could have been very selfish with that wealth. They didn't have to build community and build a Black Wall Street. They didn't have to build the force that we saw that was Black Wall Street. They could have just built their own kingdoms by themselves. Like, hey, I've got money. I'm black. I got oil money, and I'm about to go and build me a house and build a fence around it, and I'm going to live and be happy and make sure that my kids are happy and go to school and become educated. Black Wall Street, these brothers that had accumulated wealth, they did what? They created an economic system, right? Their own banks, their own hotels, their own stores, right? In fact, the Reverend Dr. Vernon Johns used to talk about that. That's what he was going after in Montgomery, Alabama, which started the bus boycott. We give Dr. King credit for the bus boycott in Montgomery with Rosa Parks. That's Dr. Vernon Johns, y'all. That's Dr. Vernon Johns, 591-1690. Oh, take that back. 312-705-5850. What's on your mind? You talk to me, black people. This is Black Talk Radio in America. It's the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Ada S. McKinley has a fantastic early learning and childcare program for kids from birth to age 5. Give your child a strong start. Quality childcare at 13 locations. Free and affordable options. Full days that are convenient for parents. Home-based services for expectant moms and their kids. And they welcome children with disabilities. Limited space available. Enroll now. Call 773-780-0050 or visit adasmckinley.org.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Are you ready? Not just to do hair, but to build a real beauty business.
If you're a stylist, a barber, or a beauty professional, this show is for you.
I'm Nidra Williams of Solo Beauty Supply.
I'm Dr. Lekashan, trichologist and salon owner.
Breaking down real strategy, real growth, and what it takes to win in this industry.
Tap in, lean in, and level up.
The Hair Salon Tour Show, where beauty professionals become business powerhouse. Join us Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Where beauty professionals become business powerhouses. WVON 1690.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, we're back. It's Friday. My brother, Mayor Joe Rudez of University Park, is going to give us a call at 2 o'clock. Well, hold on. I guess I should. Make sure I don't have somebody already. Look, y'all know me, man. You know, part of having this brilliant brain that I have means that it's ADHD, man. It's all over the place, man. It just moves faster than I can control it. But that's all right. I accept that. But Mayor, hey, we got John B. That John B calling in at 2:30. It's going to be at the South Shore Jazz Fest performing. And we're going to get that lowdown from him. See what this way. He's going to stream in too. So if you're on Facebook Live, you're going to see it. Rochelle, or is it Rochelle? Thomas said, and I started to read Rochelle's comment. She said, from my perspective, continuing to debate the migrant situation in Chicago isn't productive. And I said, I agree with her. It's not. The reality is that the situation has already unfolded and the funds that were allocated are not coming back. True. No truer words. It's like crying over spilt milk, right? You're really crying over. You got to get over it. And some people just can't get over it. Some people are spilled milk criers, right? So they can't get over it, right? And those are the people you got to leave behind. Let's leave them like, all right, the migrants in your head. Just stop listening to this show and go elsewhere and stop. Don't try to hold back. You know, don't try to pull people down into, you know, that victimization community that you are a member of. And so you are right. These funds aren't coming back. At this point, the focus should shift toward strategy, says Rochelle Thomas, especially how resources and attention can be directed toward strengthening African-American businesses, labor opportunities, housing, and education. And that's where long-term impact can be made. See, Rochelle, you're hitting the nail on the head. But see, if they see that migrants got a debit card with $1,000 on it, then they want a debit card with $1,000 on it. See, that's just how small people are thinking, right? Melody always tells me, Melody, our president here, she's always telling me, you got to think big, man. You got to think big, right? So, you know, we've got to think big and bigger. And even when we talk about reparations, right? You know, what is a check? What is a reparations check Is that going to do for you, or is rebuilding your community going to do more for you? But see, we're so locked into immediate gratification. And the reality is we have a lot of black people that need cash, right? And so when they see $1,000 or something going on a migrant's card, they think that's big money, but because they need $1,000 right now, right? But that if I gave you $1,000, that's going to last how long for you? A month, if that long, and then you're still living in the same situation. So, to your point, Rochelle, we need to be looking at businesses. Mayor Johnson has done that. Black businesses are getting investment and grants. Labor opportunities. He's done that. We're seeing more black contractors being part of projects that have received grants from the city. Housing. We are seeing more affordable housing on the south and west sides of Chicago. If you want, I can get the aldermen on who have been the beneficiaries of that type of investment. And education. Teachers contract, other investments. We're going to see. Now, you got a school board, and we got an elected school board that's coming up. This is a big, election coming up November 3rd. School board, the full elected school board has to be a part of that conversation. So these are all the things that we have to discuss and have to talk about and have to try to understand, what does real attention to our community look like? It's not, you see migrants getting put up in a building, right? And the migrants complain about the building that they're in. They get put up in a building that's more like a college dormitory, and we think they've been provided with housing. They get a check or they get a debit card with some financial resources on it, which have come from not just the city, but the state and the county, but it's the mayor's fault, right? The mayor's primary responsibility was getting them off the streets, and he did that. He did that. So that is what needed to happen, and that is what happened. Carol Carter said they don't have any lights in Crete. You're right about that. That's what I've been hearing. I've been reaching out to try to see if we can get some contact with the people in Crete, in the mayor's office there. Now, Mayor Joe Rudez is going to join us shortly in the 2:00 hour, so we'll find out what's going on. We had the mayor of Gary on. There's a lot going on out in the south suburbs related to the storms and stuff like that. But phone lines are open if y'all want to talk Black Power. Getting the victim out your head. 312-705-5850. I'm welcoming any phone calls. Come on, what y'all want? What y'all want from me? I can only read so many comments on Facebook Live. So that's why I need you guys to help out and call in so we can do it. Tony Snow, I'm still trying to get over your TD Jakes Marilyn Manson track from yesterday. Some of us live in Glencoe. There are black people that live in Glencoe. You sure about that, Snow? You sure? I don't know. We will see. John B will be virtual. I said that. He's coming on StreamYard, right? Didn't I say that? Yeah. Yep. 59. I keep saying, wanting to say 591-1690. 312-705-5850. Mayor Joe Rudez, University Park, when we return on the Matt McGill Show.
Cloudy and sticky today and warm. Temperatures in the 80s on this Friday, August 14th, 2026. I'm in Illinois, and in the headlines, there appears to be a last-ditch effort to build the Chicago Bears a new stadium here in Illinois. Politico is reporting that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell met with some key Illinois lawmakers yesterday to discuss some possibilities. Well, earlier today, Governor Pritzker signed legislation to deliver flood damage relief to Illinois property owners. He's now headed to Lansing to assess damages there. And it's practice day for the Chicago Air and Water Show. Things start tomorrow. Millions will be looking up toward the sky to watch the iconic U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds and the U.S. Army parachute team Golden Knights. National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's 2 o'clock.
Hey, baby. I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us
Tell me.
on WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
Looking for a fun, free event the whole family can enjoy? Join Insight Hospital and Medical Center Chicago as we celebrate 5 years of serving our community with a community block party and health fair on Saturday, August 15th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 2525 South Michigan Avenue, formerly Mercy Hospital. Enjoy free food trucks and ice cream, music and entertainment, games and activities for all ages, free health screenings, wellness resources, and the chance to meet our expert providers. Bring your family, bring your friends, and celebrate with us. Admission is free. We can't wait to see you. Learn more at InsightChicago.com. That's InsightChicago.com.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Ready or not, Chicago, it's back to school time. Chicago Public Schools return August 24th. Start strong and dream big. WVON wishes you a great school year.
If I work hard at it, I'll work hard at it. I'll be where I wanna be. I'll be where I wanna be.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
The second game. Now I took inventory of several people. The second most popular game that we played as children is house.
All right, we're back. 591-312-705-5850. Mayor Joe Rudez from University Park's on the live line with us. I guess there have been some damage from storms out your way, Mr. Mayor. What can you tell me?
Well, I can tell you we got hit pretty bad. It was an EF2 tornado that came through the great villas of University Park, and we suffered severe damage, power outage for about 3 days. Some residents still are lacking the power. So it's been a challenge. A lot of trees falling on residents' homes. But Matt, I got to tell you, my main concern, first of all, when it's happened, I've got a handful of residents, maybe 10 residents, who are dependent on electricity because they have home dialysis, they're on oxygen and other life support machines that help them through their daily lives. That was my biggest concern, to ensure that they got mobilized into a safe location. So we were very fortunate to get that done.
Now
Let
the
me
cleanup has begun. I mean, go ahead, just go ahead, sir.
let me. You know what? Because I'm real curious about this, because I would imagine in areas like University Park, and we had the mayor of Gary on earlier, Eddie Melton, and because he's dealing with a lot of the stuff, probably even more than what you're dealing with, Mayor Rudez. And when you have people that depend on electricity in a life or death situation, I'm just wondering, do people have backup like generators that automatically kick in? Is that something that we need to be educating people more on?
I think that would be a good point to start, because everyone can afford it, but the affordable solution to be it, sometimes a lot of our residents do have solar panels on their home. And the key to solar panels is a lot of the solar panels have backup batteries, which kick in instantly. I had one resident tell me he didn't realize it was a power outage because he never lost power. And that would be the most affordable, remedy to get those things done. And also, it also decreases the amount of your monthly ComEd bill.
Okay.
So that would be one aspect of it. But educating our residents and our people in general on the different options on how they can save money and still maintain their daily way of living.
Sure.
It's very important.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get my solar panel resources back on the air so that people have access to them. I've got a company that does solar panel installation. There were some tax credits that were attached to that, but I think President Trump has attacked that. So that's that.
Oh yeah, yes he has. Yes he has.
But
man, let me. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead, Mayor.
I just want to tell you something about the residents of University Park. I have to compliment them. They are very resilient. I know that when I first took office in 19, we were encountered with lead in our water. Then we had the COVID-19, then the civil unrest. And it's been tragedy turning into triumph day in and day out. But the residents of University Park, I really commend them. They stood up. They helped each other. I've seen things that I've never seen before. I had talked to a man who's been in the community for 40 years and didn't know his neighbors. But with this kind of damage going through the community, I saw neighbors getting out, helping each other, bringing out their chainsaws, bringing out their pole saws, pushing leaves, clearing streets, helping the city. So this was a really sometimes a great reason. And I think that sometimes the good Lord brings these storms in our lives to bring folks together, because that's his whole plan, that we all work together as one family, right? So it served its purpose in that way, but the massive cleanup is underway. And I want to thank the governor's office for reaching out, our Will County executive for reaching out and help the Faith Movers Church. We're bringing resources together. And sometimes at the end of every storm, I look at it as a rainbow. So there will be something great accomplished after all this comes to pass. But in the meantime, we don't want people coming out in our community. I had an incident yesterday that was very unfavorable to me. And it was, in reality, it was very, very offensive. But we overcame that challenge as well.
Well, I saw you on Facebook talking about Darren Bailey, the Republican candidate for governor, right?
Yes, sir.
And you felt like he was trying to take advantage. I'm assuming he's trying to take advantage of this moment in your area for political reasons.
Well, let me just explain it just from the mayor's point, just my opinion. And, I stand for my principles are strong and I don't waver. First of all, he comes into our community without contacting the mayor, without contacting the city hall, anything, asking about what resources we do have or what we need. He came directly infiltrating into our community, portraying himself as something that he is not. That anytime a man comes up and says that slavery wasn't that bad after all, it's very offensive to me. So I feel like he came into my community using predatory tactics, using the old playbook, actually preying on the innocence of people in their times of trial and tribulation. And I thought that was just horrible, to be honest with you. No communication with me whatsoever. And And that's horrible. And then pointing the finger at our governor saying what he's not doing. Well, I blatantly disagree. I have been in contact with the governor, and we do have resources coming to the community. We've got a big thing tomorrow at Faith Movers Church and the Village of University Park and the Will County. We're serving all the residents of Will County. And Monday through Friday of next week, we'll have all kinds of resources from state agencies to federal agencies, disaster assistance programs and everything in University Park. So to come out in our community and start making accusation things and using this as a platform to springboard himself into a political arena, I think that's completely unfair, and it's horrible to prey on our community as it is. As you know, and some may not know, University Park is a predominantly African-American community, great community, home of Governor State University, the beginning of the line of the Metro Station South, the largest industrial park in the state of Illinois, and a community that's actually thriving and moving forward, transitioning from the Flintstones to the Jetson generation. And for him to come in and move around like a weasel and going into people's homes and saying, oh, this is a shame, this isn't good, it's just very, very disrespectful. So I would hope that Mr. Bailey would have a lot more respect for my community and any other minority community that he's never come to before, never had communication before, to come from wherever he come from to springboard his platform. It's no good, it doesn't work, and it's unacceptable.
Well, brother, look, you're from the low end, so I know you spot BS when you see it a mile away. So I'm not worried about Mayor Joe Rudez, right? We're talking about 37th Street. We're talking about Ida B. Wells. We're talking about Chicago's low end. So you're not going to be able to come his way with some BS now. And I appreciate that, because see, people, like Bailey, they think they know black folks, and they think they can go into your community behind your back and pick off a few voters, right? They can get a few Negroes to vote for them because they think they can turn black people against their best interests. The Republican Party has made an art form out of getting poor white people to vote against their interests, and so they feel like they can do the same thing with some black people if they work hard enough at it. But see, when you got, a mayor like Joe, I'm calling him Joe because I grew up with him, Mayor Rudez, when you got black power out there at University Park, and I love everything that you just said about that community. When black people stick together, and we're going to have our differences, but I've seen the connections and the work that you're trying to do out there, and what you're doing with University Park and getting investment, and big companies that come out there and take advantage of that land out there and the workforce out there and put black people to work. That's what we're talking about, brother. That's what black power looks like. And we got to continue to support our black politicians that have the best interests of our people in heart and can spot out the BS, guys. That's what this show is all about, and what this radio station is all about. And I'll give you this example, Mayor Rudez, because when you come to the black community correctly, then you are going to recognize that now. And I had Mayor Eddie Melton on from Gary. He's a Democrat, and he was expressing to me that his Republican governor, Governor Braun there, I think that's his name, Braun, he was expressing to me that the governor of Indiana has been very helpful and has come to him in a very respectful way, and they have worked together. And he said party affiliation doesn't matter, that he's gotten that work. So you can come to a black mayor the right way and be a member of the opposite party. But if you do it with respect, you contact the mayor and let him know that you want to help out. You don't go in his city behind his back. You do it the right way, then you get the respect. Now, let me say this, because I've been critical of Governor Pritzker, but I want to give you again an opportunity to pat him on the back and sing his praises for what you feel he's been doing to help the village of University Park there.
Well, I'll tell you this, Matt. Governor Pritzker's office did reach out. They were not at AWOL. They were not absent. And I have a direct contact with the governor's office. They are definitely offering their support to us in the southern suburbs. So for him to come in here and point his finger and saying what he's not doing is absolutely absurd. for him to come in and sneak in the back door is unacceptable. And it's all about people. It doesn't matter whether you're red or blue. It's not even about that. You're a child of God. And if you sincerely want to help, you talk to the leadership of the community. Before I walk into your house, I have to ring your doorbell and knock on your door before anybody answers. Not coming through and sneaking in through the back, because that's a burglar then. And he's feeling the spirit of our people, burglarizing them. And I saw him interviewing a man that I've known for 30 years, and the man has dementia.
Okay.
And that was really offensive.
Well, good. I'm glad you're on top of it, brother. Like I said, you from the low end, you know what's going on, man. You know, and the people at University of Park out there should be glad they got a fighter like you that is not going to tolerate any BS, man. So good luck. If you need anything, if you have any information or resources you want to make sure the people out there are aware of, give me a call, brother, and let me know, and we'll make that available to them on WVON.
All right. And before we close, Matt, I just want to let you know we're at Faith Movers Church tomorrow from 11 o'clock a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We're doing a food drive, and Monday through Saturday of next week at 90 Town Center in University Park, we will have a variety of resources out there to help everybody, including disaster applications and loans. We're even making sure that we take care of our animals out there as well. So it's a great opportunity for those who are listening. If you want to reach out and help, our doors are wide open. I thank you so much, Matt. Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak.
Mayor Joe Rudez, love you, my brother. Thanks for coming on with me. All right. Let's take a break here. It is 2:17 on WVON, 312-705-5850. That's the phone number. You're listening to the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Chicago officially has the worst traffic in the country. Get out of gridlock with Metra. With our 95% on-time rate, we eliminate the stress of driving and get you where you're going quickly, comfortably, and safely. Metra. Drive less, do more.
Chicago. One night only, the Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute. Live at the Congress Theater, Saturday, August 29th. Experience the songs that defined a generation. Reimagined. A 5-piece string ensemble delivers a fresh, symphonic take on the hits you love, blending contemporary sound with those signature harmonies and empowering lyrics. Narrated by Matthew Knowles, the management powerhouse behind Destiny's Child. Upgrade to VIP for an exclusive meet and greet. Tickets are moving fast. Get yours now at destinyschild.com. Say my name, Chicago.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Hey, book your cabin now for the 2025 Tom Joyner Foundation Fantastic Void hosted by me. We're going to party with a purpose to raise funds for HBCU. Sailing from New Orleans, October the 19th through the 26th with live performances from Neo, Mary, Tyrese, October London, Gary Renee, a Southern Soul Show with Mr. Boots on the Ground, 803 Fresh. Hey, cabin start as low as $1,750 with payment plans through September. Call 214-495-1963 or log on to FB2025.com for the details. Use my keyword Ricky.
Play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON.
Greetings, WVON family. It's your brother and friend, Bomani Obadeli of the Activist Hour. Join me on Saturday mornings as we discuss a holistic and public health approach to addressing community violence. We will also be discussing ways that we can create a safe, peaceful, economically thriving, and healthy communities. Join me Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on WVON for the Activist Hour.
Dad! Come on! Over here! Look at this, Dad! Over!
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, biking, fishing, or camping. Or do your own thing when you get there with family and friends. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
Just a little heads up before something bad happens.
Move your coffee cup away from your computer. Oh, no.
So you can have more control.
Stop. You're texting your boss by mistake.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Warning. The cap is loose on that ketchup.
Don't wait. You have the power to change the outcome. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. That you can be vulnerable and powerful. That you can be more connected and resilient. And taking care of me makes us stronger. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right. One of our classic summer songs right there, huh? 312. I guess I got a phone call. And I apologize. When I do the show from home, it's a little challenging for everybody, right? Everybody in the studio. It's different than when I take blame on that. And I do apologize. If I do have some phone calls, I'm just trying to go off my list here. Is there a Cornelius on the line? Cornelius, are you there? If not,
yeah, man, for like an hour. But
Okay.
I ain't gonna trip though. You my boy.
Okay. What's happening, brother? Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday, sir. How you doing?
Man, hey, treading water, brother.
Yeah, I'm right alongside you. Hey, so I missed the meteorologist that you had on earlier, but I just thought it was funny that you had him on because I've noticed a pattern over the maybe like last 4 or 5 years where have you noticed that if you watch something like World News, NBC, ABC, legacy news stations, the weather now is the top story. The weather,
Yes.
it used to be war or killings or fire or whatever, but now weather is the top story.
Yes.
And when you look at what happened, I'm down here in Houston, Texas, right? That's where I live now, but I grew up in Inglewood. Man, my whole childhood, the only thing I ever heard about was the Plainfield tornado. That's it. Just one tornado in my whole childhood. Now we get them like crazy. And what I think needs to happen, and it might sound
It might sound extreme, but if we got tornadoes touching down in Chicago, that's extreme. And honestly, I think we gotta slow this economy down. And I say that because when the pandemic was happening, you could go into LA because there was no car traffic. You could actually see into LA, right? The smog was gone. And something's got to be done, because if we keep going, man, we won't be able to grow food. You know, you won't even have construction workers able to be outside doing a lot of things are going to shut down. They just had to ground flights in Vegas last week because of the temperatures. You got two flights that have blown out tires in the last 10 days. It's already too hot.
Well, let me
we are not looking at this stuff.
Let me say this. You're absolutely right. So this is in terms of the news, this is a trend that we've seen over the last 10 plus years, that every newscast starts off with the weather. And what they say the data has shown them is that people watch the news for traffic and weather. So like you said, tonight at 10 o'clock, when the 10 o'clock news comes on, whether it's channel 2, 5, 7, or 9 o'clock,
right?
When the channel 9 news comes on at 9, right? They are going to start off with weather. No doubt about it. They are going to start off with weather.
But Matt, that wasn't the case when we were kids.
Huh?
That was not the case when we were kids.
No,
you and I, we're pretty close in age. And that you hear about the weather at the end of the newscast. That's the end. Right. Now it's the first story.
Right. No, I'm with you. And that's what their research tells them. That is what people want. They want to know right away weather, and in some case, like in the morning, like if you are watching the news during morning drive, they'll tell you they want weather and they want traffic. So that's just it, man. Every newscast. Good call, Brother Cornelius. And other points you were making were very valid as well. Janice, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind?
Hey, Matt, I want to talk to you about the mayor, Brandon. I just look at things totally different. When I was younger, I believed in what they were saying about we got to work together. But I notice when we work together now, if we don't agree with Black leadership, it's something wrong with us. I'm going to take a situation here where when I was a kid growing up, I almost worshiped Operation Push because I didn't look behind the door. I look now and say, you brought those people over here. They went to school on the north side, better than schools that kids could go to whose parents and grandparents paid taxes all those years. I'm not worried about $1,000. I'm worried about our children getting a chance. And I want to say this. I remember, you're too young to remember maybe, Yusef Jackson. I've always watched education. I worked at a university. Michael Milken was the big-time investor. And his lawyer told him, be leery of your jury pool. No one Black had ever worked for his investment firm. They were arguing about it. Yusef Jackson got the job there, North Carolina, A&T, I believe he was at. And I looked at how Stevie Wonder and Bill Cosby got a Pepsi distributorship. Well, that could have gone to Morris Brown, where we would have had opportunities for our Black colleges to build up. And they could have told those kids, you have to volunteer in the schools in Atlanta to help build up the children's reading scores. We've got to look at the mistakes we've made in the civil rights movement and our Black organizations.
Hey, Janice.
Nobody's perfect.
Hey, Janice.
But I support Willie Wilson. Let me say that. Okay, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
No. How old are you?
I'm 69. Well, I will be 69 in a couple of months.
All right. So we're generally, I don't think we're too far apart age-wise. You're a little older than me. I'm not understanding your point that you're making. Are you being critical of Push and Mayor Johnson?
Yes, I am. I'm being critical.
Okay. Hold on. So let me, and you know what? Let me say this. So I don't, let me tell you this, it's 2:30 right now. So I'm really supposed to go to commercial break right now. So I'm going to just ask you a couple of questions. If you can give me the shortest possible answer, you can
will
give
try.
me. Okay. All right. If not, then we're just going to have to end the segment. But do you like Mayor Johnson? Yes or no?
I've never. I like him as a person. I think he's not a good administrator, but I don't have anything wrong with him personally.
Did you like Reverend Jackson?
At one time, I did.
Okay, all right, cool. Do you feel Reverend Jackson helped black people at all?
I think he helped a certain segment of blacks, but I think
good. That's good. Do you think that Reverend Jackson could have helped all black people?
I think that he could have not given things to his friends instead of trying to help the educational system.
Okay.
And also, I think he should have had now, I say one other thing. When his son got that covenant with Budweiser, that bothered me.
Okay, cool. Stop there.
And also, Bill Cosby.
Hold on. I got you. You don't have to say anymore. I think everybody understands. So I'll say this. Reverend Jackson spent a large part of the 70s helping a lot of black people make a lot of money. All right. And I think when his children got a little older and opportunities surfaced, I think as any parent, because he saw Dr. King die broke, and he saw Dr. King's family rely actually on PUSH and other black organizations for help. And maybe not rely on them, but I think PUSH and other black organizations realize, hey man, we gotta help the King family, right? Because Dr. King dedicated his life to the civil rights movement, so he gave a lot of money. Dr. King won $250,000 in 1963 when he won the Nobel Peace Prize. Hold on, sister.
Didn't keep it for himself.
Sister, hey, Robert, put her on hold. Because I want her to hear this. Dr. King won $250,000 when he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He gave it all to the movement. He didn't take one dime of it, right? And I think Reverend Jackson and others saw that you can be this activist and be this person that's promoting black power, and yet your family, you guys can be broke. And I think, just like white people do, look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump's president of the United States. You know what his number one priority is? His children. His children. The Trump family brand is making money. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with Yusuf getting a Budweiser. Reverend Jack, you are supposed to. You know how many millionaires, black millionaires Reverend Jackson made? I mean, seriously. Just by boycotting the Chicago Fest and Nike and Pepsi and Budweiser, all of these major corporations that we boycotted because they were not using black ad agencies. You were looking in Ebony magazine and seeing white people advertising products to black people. Reverend Jackson was like, no, brother, stop right now. Not on my watch. You have black ad agencies that made millions of dollars overnight because of Reverend Jackson. He doesn't have to apologize for that, sister. He does not have to apologize for that. That's black power. You make sure your children, hey, check this out. Black people go to church every Sunday, and I'm about to go to break, y'all. We go to church every Sunday, and we want our pastors to look good, be good, drive a nice car, live in a nice house, because that makes us feel good about our leadership, right? We don't want a poor, broke pastor. We want prosperity to happen, right? Same thing with our leaders out here. Brother, you are fighting for us. Yes, you need to look out for your family and your kids. Reverend Jackson wasn't living high off the hog. Reverend Jackson wasn't no millionaire. He wasn't going on trips to Italy and living in Monaco and buying second houses and 3 houses. He lived his butt right here on the south side of Chicago, had 1 house. Look, Black Lives Matter. Wait a minute. Y'all want 3 mansions all over. So there's some exploitation going on. Push wasn't doing it, y'all. Push wasn't doing it. All right, let me get off that. When we return, John B. joins us. He's performing at the South Shore Jazz Fest. We're going to talk to him about that and a lot more on the Matt McGill Show.
You'll feel it as soon as you walk outside. It's humid and muggy and warm. Temperatures climbing into the 80s. Good afternoon. I'm in Illinois, guest starring for Logan Page. Here's what's happening. There appears to be a last-ditch effort to build the Chicago Bears' new stadium in Illinois. Politico is reporting that NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell met with some key Illinois lawmakers yesterday to discuss some possibilities. Well, Governor Pritzker said he believes the Chicago Bears really wants to stay in Illinois.
I do believe they would like to stay in the state of Illinois. I also believe that they have not come forward with the bill that they would like to ask the legislature to pass yet. And so we're counting on them to make sure that that's something they're working on, that they'll talk to the legislature about.
Now, this development comes one day after Bears team president Kevin Warren laid out details on how they plan on building in Hammond.
We have had occasional meetings with the state of Illinois, and also we're just grateful that the NFL has been very helpful to us, especially Commissioner Goodell. But even though we've had occasional meetings with the state of Illinois, our sole focus at this point in time is working on a world-class stadium and mixed-use development in Hammond, Indiana.
The saga continues. A measure that would have paved a way for the Bears to build in Arlington Heights did not pass before the end of last spring's legislative session. While cleanup efforts continue following several tornadoes that touched down across Illinois and northwest Indiana Monday. Those storms uprooted trees, downed power lines, and damaged homes and left thousands in the dark. Earlier today, Governor Pritzker signed legislation to deliver flood damage relief to Illinois property owners before heading to South Suburban Lansing today to assess damage there.
This bill allows the Southwest and Northwest home equity assurance programs to provide direct rebates to families whose residences have been damaged by floods. This bill unlocks up to $1,000 to help people move forward with their lives rather than fall further behind.
That's what residents in Lansing are trying to do. They are coming together, helping each other clean up after these severe storms really just ruined their lives in many ways. That's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. WVO News Time, 2:38.
Summer is here, the season of sunshine, swimming, picnics, and the freedom to have fun and enjoy yourself. United Fidelity Bank believes freedom starts with smart savings. Whether you're hanging with friends and family or enjoying a summer night, your money should still be working for you. Open a United Fidelity Bank 18-month certificate of deposit with a 4.35% annual percentage yield. It's a simple, steady way to grow your savings, letting your money work for you. At United Fidelity Bank, they focus on you, your needs, your goals, your questions. Their personal service is something you will not find at a big box bank. Get the experience you need and the service you deserve. Stop by their Chicago flagship branch at 1701 West 87th Street to open your 18-month 4.35% APY CD today. Or visit UnitedFidelity.com. United Fidelity Bank, where your summer of smart savings begins.
Rate subject to change at any time. CDs renew automatically to the standard rate in effect at the time of renewal, unless instructed otherwise. Member FDIC.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there. WVON.
Hi, I'm attorney Ernesto Borges. I'd like to invite you to join me for the Borges Report for lively discussions about legal matters, politics, government, entertainment, and the topics that concern you in your life. Start your Sunday the Borges way with the Borges Report.
The Borges Report with Ernesto Borges, Sunday mornings at 9 on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I'm Selma, and I'll be your server this evening. The special is pasta primavera, and it comes with a salad. Oh, and by the way, I abuse my children. Lots of times I beat them for even the smallest reason. When they really get on my nerves, I lock them in the closet for a few hours.
If only child abuse was this easy to recognize, perhaps then more people would report it. If you even suspect abuse, call Child Help at 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit www.childhelp.org. We've helped millions of people help millions of children, and we can help you. All calls are anonymous and confidential, so remember 1-800-4A-CHILD or visit www.childhelp.org. Child Help. Trust your instincts. A public service message brought to you by Child Help and the Ad Council.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies. Oh, that's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? More ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better. Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Well, I'll call you after the show. We'll talk. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Love All right, we're back. South Shore Summerfest is going on. And guess what? John B is going to be there doing what you have always known him to do, sing to your soul. That's right. You know, because when it comes to music, when it comes to R&B, that's what we want. We want you to sing to our soul. John B is going to be doing, he's been doing that. He's going to be doing that this weekend. Brother, welcome to WVON. This is the station where singing to your soul all started in Chicago, man. So I want you to feel that energy, okay? Oh, he's not on yet. Damn it. I done did all this intro. All right, let's go back to the phone. Who do I have on the phone lines? I'm up here talking black power to my people. I have no idea what the hell's going on right now. John B, are you there? No, he is not there. All right. Back to Black Power then. Y'all let me know when John B is up and going. Y'all call me or text me. See, these are some of the challenges. And I apologize because I'm doing the show from home today. And I was trying to get into the studio, but I've got some personal issues going on that I'm trying to deal with. My initial instinct was to call off today. And I said, no, I want to have some presence and I want to be here talking to our people because we got so many important issues to talk about. So I did not call off, right? And I am here doing the show, and that's what it's all about. But we are talking Black Power. To the last sister that was on, sister, I hear you. You can feel the way you want to feel. But let me tell you this. Any Black person that feels that Reverend Jackson, Push, that entity did not do enough for Black people, I would say we just need to go back and revisit history and think about what happened after the civil rights movement, right? We can relitigate this all you want to. People can talk about. I know some people feel, Reverend Jackson exploited his relationship with Dr. King, and you can say that if you want to, but the proof is in the evidence of the 1970s. I grew up in the 1970s, so I feel very strongly about this. And what a lot of people that are younger and some people that are even older, right, don't understand about the legacy of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson was when he decided that I want to be a Black leader. I think he understood I'm not going to be the next Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Reverend Jackson had the skill set to be the next Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. You cannot find a better speaker, communicator, orator in the world than Reverend Jackson. All right? Period. Bottom line. But see, some of y'all forget the 1970s. And then y'all start looking, and the 80s. And I think you guys start looking at the 90s and beyond. And your thoughts about Push and maybe Rev are kind of like been molded around the 90s and above, right? So the sister mentioned Yusuf, and I'm curious, what's wrong with Yusuf getting a Budweiser distributorship? I mean, aren't you supposed to look out for your children? Isn't that something you are supposed to do? Isn't that a natural instinct as a parent? But I want to go back to the 70s and the 80s because I remember this very clearly. There was a time in America, and obviously some of y'all don't remember this. There was a time in America where Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson was the most hated person in America because white America hated him. White people who felt like Black progress was too much to be normalized hated Reverend Jackson because Reverend Jackson was stepping on their necks. See, I remember this, man. I remember being in and I was young, man. I remember being in conversations and rooms where if you brought up Reverend Jackson's name around white folks, oh, man, they wanted to say, if a Black person wasn't in the room, they wanted to say that Negro. But they didn't want to say Negro. They wanted to say that nigga. See, Reverend Jackson gave no space to racism in the 70s and the 80s. Every time white America was foul, acting up, trying to normalize the status quo and Black people are here and America is here, Reverend Jackson was stepping on their necks with press conferences and boycotts and rallies. He had a microphone. He had a megaphone that was not going to be silenced. And the white media could not silence it. Trust me when I tell you, there was a day and time in America where Reverend Jackson was the most hated person, not Black person in America. Let's take a quick break here. We'll be right back on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
When it comes to celebrating our Chicagoland communities, Wintrust is here for it. We are proud to support small businesses in our own backyards, like Pies of London, authentic English savory meat pies made with the best ingredients, located at 1071 Rolling Road in Elk Grove Village. Pop-in plates, kitchen rentals, catering, and classes at 64 Lester Road in Park Forest. And Fusion Beauty Academy, professional training for cosmetology and more, located at 18 Ohio Street in Joliet.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WBON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, Vaughn TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. Vaughn TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
Your family's health and our community's health comes first. That's why UChicago Medicine brings you the Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m. No matter the health topic,
hey, Tony Snow.
Clear facts, real and doable advice from UChicago Medicine doctors, experts, and community leaders. So you, your family, and community can make smarter choices and live healthier. Hear us at WVON.com or WVON at iHeartRadio. The Community Health Focus Hour, Saturdays at 1 p.m., powered by the Urban Health Initiative of UChicago Medicine at the forefront.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
My sister, I love you. All right, we're back. So we're going to have to catch up with John B. another time, but that's all good. We appreciate the music that brother put out. Ken Duncan's coming up next, and I'm going to do a little crosstalk with him, you know, as we continue to navigate through this world of being black and living in America. Man, let me tell you this, brother. I'll sit up here, and I can't wait to get back in the studio, man. I'll sit up here and defend Reverend Jackson all day, especially in this year, the year that we lost him, the year that he died. I will make a commitment for the rest of my life, brother. I'm going to defend Reverend Jackson. Let me tell you this, man. If there's one black person in America that we should ride and die with to the end of our lives and defend, it's the legacy of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, man. Don't play with that, y'all. Don't play with that. Let me tell you. White Republicans, they're not going to let you play with somebody like Ronald Reagan. They're going to sing his praises to the day he die. You see what I'm saying? They going to ride. Now, let me tell you this. White folks in America and white Republicans in America, they going to ride and die with the legacy of Donald Trump to the day they die. I'll put Reverend Jackson up against Donald Trump any day of the week. You can sit up and say whatever you want to say. Reverend Jackson will eat Donald Trump's lunch and take his money out of his pocket all day long. So I'm not sitting up there. I'm not giving none of that. I'm a black person from America, Reverend Jackson. I'm riding and dying to the day I die on his legacy. That man made black millionaires by annoying white folks, by annoying white America. And by saying, guess what? You got to deal with black people. There are more of them coming like me. Like me. See, y'all don't really understand the psychology of what Reverend Jackson did to this country. He was like, I'm just as intelligent. I'm tall. I'm good looking. I got a family too. Just like you looking out for yours, I'm looking out for mine. Your women are looking at me. Your wife's looking at me. Brother, you can't out-talk me. You can't out-think me. And guess what? There are more black men like me coming down the pike. And that scared the hell out of white America. I'm riding and dying with the legacy of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson. Flaws and all. Flaws and all. You jump ship if you want to. Not on this watch. Not 12 to 3, Monday through Friday. I don't need you to be perfect. I don't need Reverend Jackson to be perfect. Dr. King wasn't perfect. Frederick Douglass wasn't perfect. W.E.B. wasn't perfect. Booker T wasn't perfect. Lord knows Donald Trump ain't perfect. They riding and dying with his ass. MAGA gonna ride and die with his ass. And I, as a black American, can ride and die with the black person I want to and the black people I want to. Yeah, you can let all this noise get in your head and shake you. I ain't letting it happen. I've seen enough of Mayor Johnson to know that Tony so Nat Turner was. No, brother, hey, if we had social media and smartphones, I'm sure we would find something about Nat Turner that we probably didn't like. I'm riding and dying with the legacy of Reverend Jesse Lewis Jackson, period. Period. Hey, I love Barack, but one of my problems with Barack is that we had to have a Barack, a sanitized, like damn near perfect black person that they couldn't attack to be president of the United States. No, I accept the flaw. I love Barack. Don't get me wrong. I give no F's about Reverend Jackson's flaws or Dr. King's flaws. FBI wiretapping Doc. They're wiretapping Doc tapping. Whatever. I don't care about that. See, that they want to get in your head about that crap. Sister, you were talking about I have a problem with Yusuf getting a Budweiser distributorship. I don't. Reverend Jackson should have did more for his family. Let me tell you this. The Trump family, Barron Trump, ain't got a worry in the world. That man's future and his kids' kids' future is all set. That's what you do. If a black person did what Trump is doing right now, half of you Negroes would be saying you got a problem. Why he take care of his kids? Because he's supposed to. He's supposed to. Black power. You're damn right. I hope Jonathan Jackson becomes president one day. If Jonathan Jackson becomes president of the United States of America, I'm wearing my Jesse Lewis Jackson sweatshirt to the inauguration and putting up my fists and saying I am somebody. The legacy of Reverend Jackson has made it to the White House. I hope Jonathan runs for president one day. I'm not running away from that. I'm running to it. I'm running toward it. Running away, criticizing Reverend. Are you kidding me? In this year that he died? Hell the frick no. Reverend Jackson would want rings around the majority of white presidents you have elected. Can you imagine Reverend Jackson debating Mayor Daley? Can you imagine Jesse Jr. debating Mayor Daley? But see, that's what we go for. All right. Ken Duncan coming up next. See, y'all got me sweating, man. I should have brought my butt in the studio. This is you know what? Here's what I'm very comfortable with. For a lot of black people, this is the wrong show to listen to. I hear you. Don't listen. And I'm not talking about Sister Janice or anybody else, but for some black people, this ain't the show for you. And guess what? You got other shows on WVON that you can listen to that will make you feel better about whatever the hell you need to feel better about. This ain't it though. Attacking Reverend Jackson on here. Next. You need to go down to Dow or wherever else white people make you feel comfortable about attacking. Nah, ain't happening here. All right. Ken Duncan coming up next. We're doing some crosstalk, Black Power until the day you die, my people. Love you to pieces. Share the show, and I'll be right back with my brother Ken Duncan right after this.
Sticky, humid, and warm as temps top out in the low 80s on this Friday, August 14th, 2026. I'm in Illinois, and in the headlines, the National Guard is in Northwest Indiana this afternoon helping with recovery efforts following Monday's devastating tornadoes. Illinois Governor Pritzker signed legislation today to deliver flood damage relief to Illinois property owners heavily affected. And still, no one has come forward to claim the $1 billion Powerball jackpot. One ticket was sold in downstate Quincy, Illinois. That one ticket matched all the winning numbers on Wednesday.
Mega, hey, that's what I did.
National news from the Black Information Network is next on the iHeartRadio app and 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Michael Coleman,
it's 301.
Okay? Running game, gangster game. Gangster game. Hey, Alma.
Here's BIN News Now.
Miramar, Florida leaders are set to vote on whether to join Broward County's solid waste master plan.
And the amendment to continue Miramar's participation.
I'm going to log out and log back
Black
in.
Mayor Wayne Messam supports
the show.
option
Love you
saying it could
guys.
strengthen the city's effort to block a proposed incinerator at the
All right,
West
if Ken is running
landfill.
late, then
Miramar
I'ma
must
stay on
decide
here.
by
Y'all let me
Friday.
know.
David Crowley is one step closer to becoming Wisconsin's first Black governor after defeating State Representative Francesca Hong in Tuesday's Democratic primary. The win was considered an upset after Hong led recent polling. Crowley, who already made history as Milwaukee County's first Black executive, will face Republican Tom Tiffany in November. And prosecutors are expected to use Black singer David's online shopping history in the murder case against him. Authorities say David Anthony Burke bought items including chainsaws, cadaver bags, and shovels before allegedly using them to dispose of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body. He is awaiting trial on murder and other charges. I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Back to you.